At 92, Kim Novak finally speaks up about James Stewart, and her words feel less like a revelation than a quiet act of gratitude shaped by a lifetime of reflection. Born Marilyn Pauline Novak on February 13, 1933, in Chicago to Czech immigrant parents, she grew up in a working-class neighborhood during the Great Depression, far removed from the glamour that would later define her public image. As a young woman, Novak dreamed not of stardom but of becoming an artist, studying commercial art at Wright Junior College and developing a lifelong sensitivity to mood, aesthetics, and emotional nuance that would later define her screen presence. Her entry into Hollywood was almost accidental, discovered while modeling to support her education and signed by Columbia Pictures in the early 1950s. The studio tried to reshape her into a conventional blonde bombshell, even briefly renaming her Kit Marlowe, but Novak resisted, insisting on keeping her name and her identity, a quiet rebellion that set the tone for her entire career. Though positioned as a rival to Marilyn Monroe, Novak forged a distinctly different path, becoming known for performances that were introspective, vulnerable, and emotionally restrained. Films like Picnic, The Man with the Golden Arm, Pal Joey, and Belle, Book and Candle established her as one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, but it was Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo in 1958 that immortalized her legacy, with her dual role as Madeline Elster and Judy Barton now regarded as one of the most haunting and complex performances in cinema history. Despite success, Novak's relationship with Hollywood remained strained. She resisted rigid contracts, studio control, and personal intrusions, eventually stepping away from the industry to reclaim her autonomy. Though she returned briefly in later years with memorable television roles and final film appearances marked by dignity and restraint, she ultimately chose a quieter life devoted to painting, nature, and love, finding lasting happiness with veterinarian Robert Malloy, whom she married in 1976 and remained with until his death in 2020. Now, with the clarity that only time can offer, Novak reflects on one of the most meaningful professional relationships of her life, her work with James Stewart. She remembers meeting him as a young actress still finding her footing, while he was already a towering icon, yet never once did he make her feel lesser. Stewart, she says, treated everyone as an equal, bringing calm, sincerity, and humility to the set in an industry often fueled by ego. He listened more than he spoke, cared deeply about truth over appearance, and carried a quiet confidence that never needed to announce itself. Between takes, their conversations about fear, doubt, and responsibility left a lasting imprint on her, especially his belief that actors owed honesty to audiences who trusted them. In an era when young actresses were often treated as commodities, his respect felt radical, and his kindness revealed itself not through grand gestures but through small, instinctive acts of support. Fame, Novak reflects, never changed him. He did not chase admiration, he earned it through decency. Watching his later work only deepened her respect as he allowed himself to appear fragile and imperfect, proving that true greatness could be gentle. Speaking now, Novak does not seek to rewrite history or reclaim the spotlight, but to honor a man whose quiet integrity helped her believe in herself. In an industry remembered as much for its cruelty as its glamour, her memories of James Stewart stand as a reminder that character can matter as much as talent, and as she concludes, when she looks back on the people who truly mattered in her long life, Jimmy Stewart is always there, steady, honest, and good.